Okay, hello everyone. Happy Tuesday. We have an upper body strength and conditioning workout today. Equipment-wise, you can bring out your TRXs right off the bat. If you have them, set them up, hook them up. I am going to be using this chair right here. Under the chair, I have my 8-pound dumbbells and my loop bands, as per usual. And then this mat. The other thing that you will need towards the end of our session today, if you are going to be joining me on the higher impact stuff, is your supportive footwear, which I'm not wearing quite yet, but they are right over there, ready to be put on when we start jumping around. So let's start you off with this warm-up. We are going to stick our arms out to the sides, palms down, starting to draw these small circles that are going to progressively get bigger and bigger until they are as big as they can go. Once we've reached that biggest range of motion, we'll stop, and we'll start to do that the other way. Okay, big ones, progressively making them smaller until they are these little ones, and then we are going to stop and swing our arms over and under. You're going to have to count these ones. We're doing 20 of them total, alternating which arm goes up, which arm goes down. We'll keep those palms facing down. 20 reps total. We know the drill with these. We're trying to get that burning sensation brewing in our shoulders. Maybe we're starting to feel it already. If not, we will on the next one. Relaxing our arms down by the sides. We're going to roll out the shoulders as big as we can while keeping the arms relaxed down beside our hips. We're going 3 times backwards. Big circles, straight arms, and then we'll stop and do 3 times forwards. So we'll go through these ones as big as we can make them. As we come to an end on those, we're headed down onto the floor. Just got one more hopping in here. So we're going to get down into our all-4 position, hands and the knees, starting off with the scapular retraction, where we try to squeeze our shoulder blades together and then spread them apart as far as we can. So we're going as big of a movement as we can without bending the elbows. We'll go through 10 of these total, and bringing those shoulders together, driving them apart, going through 10 of them up and down as 1, 10 of them. Very nice. There we go, getting everything moving in that upper back between the shoulder blades. 10. As we finish those ones up, we're going to spread the shoulders apart. Take one hand, reach it through and under, and then we'll exhale and open up towards that ceiling. Going through 10 now of these guys on each side, while we're trying to keep that same shoulders apart feeling going on in our upper back. So we'll go through 10. No movement in the legs or hips. We want to keep everything as still, as stable as possible. 10 over here, exhaling as we open up. And then we will do the other side, 10 over here. So we'll take our time with these ones. Inhaling as we close. And trying to keep this arm from bending. We want to keep them straight. Following the hand with the eyes, 10 of them. 10 and 10. There you go. This one always feels nice to do. It's going to help loosen up some of the stuff we did yesterday. Finishing up this one, we are standing up off the floor for the next one, where we're going to come back up, stick our arms back out to the sides. Palms are still going to face down for this next one here. And we're going to go through these circles once again, but we're keeping them small, only small. You can count your reps here. We're going through 10 little circles going backwards. Keeping them little, keeping those palms facing down. Again, with the intention of getting the shoulders burning, which we will start to feel towards the end of these 10. And then we got to stop, and we're going through 10 in the other direction. Again, palms facing down. We want to keep the arms straight, standing up nice and tall. Oh, the burning shoulders. That's what's up for this one. 10 and 10. Relaxing the arms as we finish that one. We have 2 more to go. This next one's about the neck. We're going to be very careful with it. First off, tucking the chin down to our chest. We're going to start to rotate the ear over to one shoulder, looking up towards the ceiling, bringing the back of the head towards the back of the neck, and then over towards the other ear to shoulder. We should end up back where we started with that chin tucked, and then we're going to go right back in that same direction, all the way up, ear to the other shoulder, and we are back to where we started. So we always want to be careful with that one with the neck, especially the first thing in the morning, but we do want to go through one full rotation. The last final one, back down on the floor, up and down is always part of the deal. Back in the hands and the knees, we're going to warm up our wrists, get them ready for these push-ups, which are on the menu today. So back in all four position here, we want our palms down so that our fingertips are facing forward. And we're gonna rock over top of our fingertips while keeping our palms fixed to the floor. So we don't want those palms lifting up. There and back is one. We're going to do this 5 times total. So we're not worried about moving too far forward, just enough so we feel a little bit of tension around the wrists, through the forearms, 5 of them. And then we have one more where we're going to turn the palms so that they are facing each other. Fingertips are out towards the sides. And then we're going to rock it side to side with that same intention of moving over the fingertips while keeping the palms on the floor. So we'll go there and back as one. We'll do this one 5 times total as well. So again, we're trying to loosen up, limber up everything through the wrists, the forearms, getting them ready for our first exercise, which I already gave you a little teaser about. So what we're going to do now is stand up and grab onto our band. Now I'm going to be using, under here, my 2 loop bands. You can grab onto a long band if you have it, my orange one, which is tucked over there, or you can make a long band like this. And for those of us who don't have a band, that's completely okay. I have a wonderful option that does not use band. But what we're going to do is start off with a set of band pull-aparts. So we're going to hold this band a little bit wider than our shoulders, pulling it across, stopping before we hit our chest, and then stopping before that band goes loose. And we're doing 10 of these total. So this one is going to start us off on our first exercise for our strength, doing 10 reps of this band pull. And then we are going to get down and do some push-ups to pair this one with. So if you don't have a band, we're in our bent over position, thumbs rotated up, and we're going through these guys 10 reps total. Okay, so we'll put that band down, keep it close, we shall be back there. We will be going down onto the floor for a set of push-ups. Now today, we're switching it up a bit. We're going to be working with our narrow grip push-ups as well as our normal grip push-ups. So we're going to complete 3 reps of this narrow grip right into 6 reps of our wide grip, okay? So you guys are going to get down here and get started on our first official set of these push-ups. Oh, sorry. Oh, you can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Am I cut off here? Sorry, you guys. Please hold. Is this working now?
Amy, I can hear you. I can hear you fine. I think.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I know it's always. I hate Zoom, but I love it. But I hate it, but I love it. There's always these little tweaks and things on there. Hopefully, we're good to go now. Okay, so push-ups. You're just trying to delay them. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to get these push-ups in, and starting with the narrow grip ones. So these ones, we want the hands in line with the bra line, elbows tucked into the body. We're going to do 3 of them right into 6 of our normal grip ones. So you can get on down here, get yourself set up. We're going down to 90 degrees. Exhale, pushing ourselves out of that one, trying to complete 3 of them. Now, I get it. As you saw my struggle right there, these ones are very challenging. Some of us might have a really hard time doing them. You might even not be able to get 3. So what you're going to do instead is work on lowering yourself down, using the knees on the way up, and then resetting onto the toes. So we'll get 3 in like this, and then we'll widen up those hands, and we're going to complete 6 now in our normal stance push-up position, right after those narrow ones, okay? So 3 narrows, 6 normals. Same rules apply. If we cannot quite get all 6 of those normal grip ones, then you can do that little lowering situation if you need to. As you finish that up, we're going to stand back up. Whew, take a deep breath. Maybe grab a quick sip of water. We have about 30 seconds before we're going to do our next set. And we are doing 3 of them total. So we have 2 more to go after this one. But again, we do want to take a little bit of time. If you want to swing out your arms, roll out your shoulders, okay? Give yourself a little bit of time before you jump right into your next set. And we know that that is so that we can have a stronger set. So we're going back to our band pull-aparts. So again, about 30 to 45 seconds of rest. And then we'll pick up our band and go into our second set. Back to these ones where we're completing 10 reps of these band pulls total. So we'll go through 10 of them. Again, trying to keep that tension on the band. 10 of them. And then we are right back down there on the floor for our second set of these push-up combos. So again, 3 narrows, which we know are way harder than our normal push-ups. They involve, more tricep, as the way we have our arms tucked in, a little bit less of our actual chest muscles, which for most of us are not as strong. That's why we're feeling the way we're feeling in them. But we'll work it as we can through this set and through one more. Because again, we are doing 3 rounds total. So we'll finish up this second one. Whew. Again, take a deep breath, grab some water, do a little lap around the space that you have, and then we will do our final and last set of these push-ups. And I cannot say it's all the push-ups we have today because we do have some sneaky push-ups incorporated into our conditioning work, but this is going to conclude these ones, okay? So again, we'll go into our final set. Back into our band pose. Very nice. Okay, 10 reps total. Trying to get your shoulder blades really squeezing together as we pull that band apart. And 10. And then we'll finish up with our last and final set of the push-ups, which is definitely going to be our most challenging set, as it is our last one. It'll be our most likely the most tired, but we're going to try to bang it out just as good as we did those first 2. So remember to use that exhale, especially on those narrow ones, those first 3, exhaling and pushing yourself off of the floor. Let's do it. Okay, so we'll give you about 2 more minutes to finish it up. So we'll get in these push-ups. Okay. Finishing up that last set, and then we are going to move on to the next part. Alrighty. Nice work, my friends. Okay, so as we finish up there, we'll grab some water. Woo! Think about how good we feel. Although, after doing those narrow ones, sometimes they can be a little bit discouraging because they are so much harder than our normal ones. But that's why we do them, so we can get better and stronger and feel more like we can do them, more capable of doing them. So as you finish that up, we are going to get you set up for our next part, which is a superset of 2 different muscle groups. First one is going to be a Tricep Focus, which is going to be our dips off of our bench. So you can set yourself up so that you have something to dip off of. This one here, we're working with 10 reps total today. So we know the drill with this one. The straighter the legs, the harder. The more bent the legs, the easier. Recently, I've also been talking about ways to make this even more challenging. When you've reached your cap, straight legs, and it's still, not the hardest thing in the world, we can elevate our feet. So that's going to be an option. I'm not going to do that one here because, these are pretty challenging as they are, but some of us might want to grab a second chair or an ottoman or something, a stool that we can put down under our feet to lift up those feet, which is going to make this feel a lot harder because we're only doing 10. So this is going to be our first one, and I want you to start your first set of these ones right now. Now, for those of you who do not have the chair, what we can do instead is our wall tricep extension, this one here. So you find yourself a wall down to the forearms, pushing up onto your hands, and 10 reps total of those ones. So we'll complete that first set. We are going to go through another exercise with this one. I'm going to let you get your first set of them dips in first. 10 of them, okay? So again, we want to make sure that that set is challenging. We don't want to be thinking like, oh, I could probably do 12 or 15. Maybe that's okay on our first set. We are going to complete 4 rounds, okay? So you'll have 3 more chances after this to really make that 10 it, okay? We don't want to be doing 11 or 12. So that's going to be our first one. Second one, my TRX friends, if you have one, set it up, grab it in your hands because we're going to use it. Again, I don't have one, so I'm going to be using my dumbbells, getting myself into my bent over position with the palms facing the legs, so palms facing down, like so. I'm going to row and rotate, so my palms face my ribs. Unrotate as I let those arms down, and we'll be going through 15 reps of these rotational rows. So I start in this position here, and then I pull and rotate, ending up here. I don't want my arms touching my body, but we are in that more narrow grip position. So same rules apply if you are TRX and mid. You're gonna go through that row using your body weight and getting in 15 reps total. There we go. Let's do it. Rotational rows. Now this one, we're skipping a rest. We have no rest in between these two, so we're going right back to back into our dips as I struggle to separate these bands. Sometimes there we go. So we're going back into the dips, right into our second set of 10 reps of these bench chair dips, whichever ones you're doing. Okay, so we'll try to hustle between these two and back into this first one. Lowering ourselves down, we want to keep our hips nice and close to the bench. Shoulders are set back, squeezed together the whole time to help us avoid that rounding forward shoulder situation that I talk about often that we don't want happening. So we'll squeeze those back, and then we'll go through our 10 reps. Woo! For the dips, for the arms, yes. Should be feeling it in there. All right, so right into our second set of our rows. Nice strong setup, soft knees, hips back. We want to be on this 45-degree angle, and then we row and we rotate, trying to be very active with our shoulder blades, with our upper back, to create that 90-degree angle at our elbow. So we'll go through 15 reps total. There they are. For the back, for the posture, yes, very nice. Okay, so 2 more sets. You know what's up now. Your body knows what's up. So we'll try to really, again, make these last 2 sets challenging. Okay, so if there's any part of you that's thinking that you could keep going on those dips, let's try to do something here on this next set. And on your last one, to again make 10 the maximum amount that you can do. Okay, maybe you could do 11 or 12, but they wouldn't be that pretty. That's how I want you to feel at the end of your set. So maybe instead of, again, elevating your feet, you're simply slowing down. That's another really easy way to make things harder, is to take more time with your reps. Okay, so if you're kind of stuck between having your legs completely straight and having them bent, in order to get you stronger and able to do this with the straight legs, you might want to work on the bent legs with a slower down phase where we let ourselves down, and you will feel the difference as you approach the end of your set. There we go. Okay, so we'll get through this third one. We have 1 more to go. The last one. And then we are moving on. Okay, let's get it. The final set. Okay, so trying to again hustle between these two. Taking little to no rest as we are working quite different things in both of these exercises. And that tricep focus on our dips. We feel a little bit of work in our chest and a little in our shoulders. And then in our rows, it's all back. So we're getting a lot of work happening in our back. A little bit of sneaky work in the arms from that rotation that we're doing. But there's your reminder to get right going into your final set. You got it. While I do that, I'm gonna plug this in. Setup always eats my battery away. Okay. So as we are finishing up, I will give you about 1 minute to get her done. If you're already done, you can just grab some water. I'll wait for these guys to finish up. The final set of 15 of those rotational rows. You got it. Okay, so we'll get that done, out of the way. There we go. Awesome work. Grabbing some water as we finish up. We are going to move on to the next part, which is also the final part of our upper body strength. It's a big part though. We're going to be going through a 4-exercise circuit. So we'll finish up that last set of those rows, grab some water, we'll shake out our shoulders, roll them out if we need to, and get yourself ready and set up for this last part. So final part that I'm going to do is going to start off with a 1-arm wide grip row. So I'm going to be using this chair right here with my knee, my hand. That's going to give me that support for my core and my lower back. So right off the bat, if you do not have a chair like this to use, instead, what you're going to do is find yourself a wall or the back of your couch, something that you can put your hand on so that you can get that same similar support for your core and low back as we're getting by having our knee and hand up on this bench. Okay, so what we're going to do is set up. The other way that we can also do this one today is TRX. We're going to be working with a 1-arm wide grip row, sending it up into this T position here. So again, I'm going to be bent over using my dumbbells, and I'm going to start off with just 1 dumbbell. I might eventually use 2, but the way we're doing this one by pulling it out and wide like this is a very demanding exercise, and it's not using a very strong muscle. We're trying to go for those rear delts in the back of the shoulder. And just to top it off, we're doing 15 reps total, okay? So 15 on this side over here, and then we're going to switch and do 15 on the other side. And that's going to be our first of 4 exercises. So again, if you don't have dumbbells, maybe they're not quite the right weight, you can always loop a band around your foot and work with a banded row instead. And again, if you don't have the chair, we're going to set ourselves up here so that we still have that support for our low back and our core. Okay, 15 reps to be. Let's do it. So we got to do this on both sides. 15 on one side, you got it. 15 on the other. Oh yeah. Okay, and again, we're gonna feel like this one is a lot harder than it looks because of the way we're sending our elbow up, and again, the little muscle that we are targeting, the back of our shoulder. This is our first one. All right, very nice. Second one is going to be a wide grip row with 2 arms. So if you weren't feeling it back there, you definitely will on this next one. So I'm going to separate or hold 1 dumbbell in each hand, hip width apart in the feet, soft knees. We'll push the hips back. So we're in our bent over position. And now I'm going to pull both dumbbells up and wide. So now I don't have that support for my core, my low back. So I want to make sure I'm pulling in my belly button towards my spine. So my core is braced. And we're doing 12 reps, 2 arms at a time, going up into that exact same position. Ooh, up into that T, okay? We're not in the A, we're not in the narrow. We want to be up here, both arms. So again, TRX, dumbbells, let's get it. 12 of them. Woohoo! Very nice. Very nice. All right. So that is our second one that we are going to do. Number 3 is down on the floor. We're going to lay on our back, going through a tricep extension with both dumbbells, 1 in each hand, laying down here, bending those elbows down to 90 degrees, and then exhaling and pushing them up straight out of that elbow, out of that shoulder. So this one here, we're doing 10 reps total. So you can start this set, 10 of them. And exhaling as we push up. If your dumbbells are a little bit too heavy, that kind of freaks you out to drop them behind your head, or if you're feeling like it's too much in that tricep or elbow, we can always put a dumbbell down and work with 1 instead of 2. And we just got to make sure we don't hit ourselves in the forehead, of course. And we are going through 10 reps total of that one there. There you go, the triceps. Very nice. Okay, we got 1 more. 1 more to go, and it is a standing one. We're going to be working on now the biceps. So that one we just did there was a tricep focus, the back of the arms. This final one that we're going to do is a standing hammer curl. So what I'm going to do, because my dumbbells are a little bit light, I'm going to start off with lifting them slightly in front of me like this. And then we're going to curl up to 90 degrees and straighten out while keeping those dumbbells in front of our body. This last one here, we're doing 8 total, okay? So 8 reps is what we need. Again, if these dumbbells are a bit too heavy, then you can relax the arms. You don't have to lift them forward like that. But that little change is going to put a lot of extra tension on those arms and on the muscles in your arms. And so if you're working with lighter weights, this is going to be a really good thing to do in order for you to feel challenged in that 8, okay? But again, you don't have to. You can hold them down here and just do a normal 8, because maybe you have heavy enough dumbbells, okay, or the ones you're using are heavy. That is our first set of that circuit. Oh yes, there's a big one. So we're going to do it again, 3 more rounds. Back to that first exercise, that single arm wide grip row. So we have a descending rep range. Again, this first one we're going to do is 15. And then we have 12, 10, and 8 as we go through them. We're going to limit the rest. So we'll try to go right into that second set. Back into our one arm wide grip row. So we can start this second set going through 15 of these ones on each side. Let's get it. Wonderful. Okay. So going through that wide grip position, nice strong core. There you are. Awesome. We got a big old strength circuit to finish up this part. And then you know what's coming next. We have that cardio conditioning work. That's going to take us to the finish line. Oh, yeah. All right. So we'll take our time with these ones, with these exercises, okay? And you probably don't have to think about too much in order to make them harder, but we know that anytime we do need to make this feel more challenging, pausing, slowing down. 2 really simple, easy things that you can do, any of you can do with any equipment, whether it is the dumbbells, the bands, or maybe even your TRX if you're using it. Okay, let's do it. Getting through our second set. So again, our first one is that single arm. And then we have our double arm wide grip. Here we go. Trying to again go the low back a little bit, the core, because we're driving our belly button into our spine. Again, anytime we're doing any sort of bent over exercise, if we're not supporting ourselves with our hand, we're getting work in here, whether we like it or not. And so in order to keep the work on the core and not put too much on our low back, we have to brace this. And by bracing, we want to pull in our belly button, pretend someone's going to punch you in the gut, that braced feeling that you feel, that's what we want in our entire set. So something that you can think about here, or maybe on the next 2 rounds, because we have 2 more sets to go. Yes. Okay, so we'll get down into our second round of our triceps. Again, if you are dumbbell lifts, if you're working with a band instead of a dumbbell, we're going to hold the band like this, and then you can just push up 1 arm at a time. Okay, going through your set. Let's get it. Ooh, for the triceps. You got it. Okay. So again, 10 reps is the number B down there on the floor. And then we have that final one, that hammer curl. And we're calling it that because of the way we're holding the dumbbell. We're not having our palms open. We have our palms facing each other like this, kind of like we hold a hammer. And then we're going to pull up to 90 degrees. Okay, we want to make sure we're not completely locking out our elbow. We want to keep it slightly soft on that straight part there. And, woo, 8 reps, which is probably feeling like plenty at that point in this little circuit here. So we have 2 more sets. Doing it again. Back to our first one. You got it. Okay, our one arm wide grip rows. Let's do it. Awesome. Okay. Set number 3. Let's get it in. And making sure we're creating that 90 degrees. You can always do a little shoulder check regardless of what equipment you are using. Pop up. There we go. Oh yeah. 15. There you go. These ones probably are feeling a little progressively harder. Again, we are not using a very strong muscle in these one arm rows and in our 2-arm wide grip. We're trying to target the back of the shoulders, the rear delts, and they are not very strong, which is why we're feeling like we probably don't need a lot of weight. Probably don't need to double up our weights. Okay, so we'll get through the second set. Again, if you're working with a band, then we're just going to hold this band wide as we go through our wide grip rows. Okay, third set. Oh yeah. There we go. So again, palms facing down, hiking up those elbows, kind of create that 90 degrees. All right, standing upright, you can see this happening. All right, let's do it. 12 times. You got it. You do. Okay. So we'll get going into our third set of these tricep extensions, also known as our skull crushers. You've probably heard me call them that before, talk about them before, although that's not the best name. It doesn't sound the safest. But we just have to be careful that we don't hit ourselves in the head. We want to drop the dumbbells beside our head, 90 degrees, and then pushing straight up. Avoiding movement in this upper part of the arm. We're just hinging through the elbow as we go down, and then we push up, and we'll feel that work happening in the back of the arm. And if you're feeling a little sketchy, a little unsafe, just put a dumbbell down. Just hold one sideways like this, and you'll feel in a lot more control and less risk crushing your head. There you go. All right, so we got our last set of our hammer curls, and then we have one more round. Yeah, let's do it. 8 reps only, so we want to make sure that we're really feeling these 8. Again, by holding the dumbbells in front of us, we already feel the tension that we're putting on our arms, a little bit on our shoulders as well. And then as we go through our set, we have to have control to keep our arms out there, for them to not just fall down by our sides. It's part of the deal. There you go, 8 reps. So we have one more set to go. Yes. And then we are moving on to the last part. We're going to finish this up. Perfect timing, too. We have about 5 minutes to get through one more round of the circuit, which is plenty of time to get her done if you're just finishing up that third set. All right. This last round in the upper body. Awesome. There we go. So we'll take our time. We don't want to be thinking in any of these that we could keep going after that number that I gave you. That number of reps, that is it. Okay, so we'll really try to make this last set challenging. Whew, on all of these. Let's get it. So we'll finish up strong here, last set. For the upper strength, back to, again, trying to focus on feeling everything in these ones. As we go through, especially the second one here, this double arm wide grip, we want to make sure to pull our shoulder blades together. Every rep, squeezing them in so that we're not just leaving them behind. Okay, we're not hiking the elbow up. There we go. Last chance on these ones. Awesome. Not to mention that we are getting tired in that upper back and the back of our shoulders, okay? We do maybe have a little bit in our core as we go through this final set of this 2-arm row. So we'll really try to keep it as proper as possible and creating that 90 degrees by squeezing those shoulders back. I want you to think about that every single rep of your 12 that you have to do. You want to be active in our upper back. All right, let's get it. 12 times. Okay, finishing up with the triceps. You got it. Starting to really feel this stuff. All right, so we'll get going on our final set number 4. 10 reps of these tricep extensions. And if you want to feel this a little more, just lower these guys down a bit slower. Your 1 dumbbell, your 2 dumbbells, whatever you're using. And we'll feel this 10 a bit more in the back of those arms. There you go. Let's get it. Okay, so we have about 1 minute, maybe 2, to finish this up and to get ourselves set up for our last part. So as we finish up the last part here that we're going to do is all of our cardio or conditioning, we need space more than anything else. So I'm going to take this chair and move it out of my way so that I have a little bit more room. The other thing again that I mentioned is that we will want to put on our supportive footwear. You are going to be joining me on the high impact or jumping exercises. Let me just slip these bad boys on. You want to put on your shoes if you don't have them on already, so that we have that additional support for our ankles and our knees and our hips. Okay. Now, equipment-wise, what we're going to need for this last and final part for one of our movements is a reference point on the floor. We're going to be working with our fast in and out feet. So I'm going to be using my 2 loop bands, okay, this one here, and it's not our first one, so don't get too excited about doing it yet, but keep in mind that we will need a little setup for it, and we do not have time between our exercises, okay, so you'll want to, I'm just going to have this sort of set up over on one side here. Okay, so what we're going to do for this last circuit, that is going to take us a 16 minutes to do. We have 3 exercises that we're going to do, 1 minute on each. After we complete 1 minute of each of these movements, with no rest in between, we will have 1 full minute of rest. So it's going to look like exercise A, B, and C, followed by 60 seconds of rest. That's 1 round. We're going to do that 4 times total, okay? So our very first one, I already warned you a little that there were some push-ups in here. We're going to be working with our blast off push-up. So for the first 60 seconds, you are going to be down in a plank position, in a push-up position, rocking your hips back here, and then coming forward into that normal grip push-up. So this is going to be us for 60 seconds, okay? After we're finished that one, we're going to get right up, and to double check here, into our second one, which is our fast in and out feet, which I'll need a little bit more space for. There we go. So we're going in and out of these lines, which can very well be imaginary, okay? You don't need the bands down if you don't have space, or if you just simply don't have them, then you can just have your imaginary lines, and we're trying to go quick feet in and out of those lines. The last final one we're going to do are our lunge jumps, where we're switching, oh yes, okay, 1 minute there, and then we'll have 60 full seconds of rest. Sounds kind of nice? Maybe, we'll find out. So I want you to get yourself set up, ready, as I set our timer here. That is going to essentially beep every minute. Bear with me as I have a couple pop-ups. There we go. Even the paid version of this app, I still get ads. Maybe it's not the highest paid version. Okay, so what we're going to do is complete this first round. We have 4 rounds total, and then we are done. Okay, are you guys ready? As ready as you're ever going to be? Down in that plank position, starting in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So we're here, we're trying to rock the hips back, keep the knees low, and then we come back forward into that push-up. Exhale out of it, and then into our blast off, where we drive our hips back, going through that set. Again, if you are a little bit pushed up, out, what I want you to do is still lower, knees on the way up, back onto the toes. Okay, try to work through 30 more seconds in that plank position. Oh yes, you got this. Okay, so breathe through them. Woo! We'll try to get through about 5 more of these. 20 seconds left. When in doubt, just hold the plank. Okay, try to work with the hips back, hips forward. Maybe just throw in a push-up here and there if you can. 10 more seconds left. There we go. Let's get it. 3, 2, 1, and time right into that second one. So there's no rest time on the clock. We're trying to hustle, going right into our second one here, moving those feet, get our 2 lines, maybe imaginary, that's okay. Try and move the arms and the legs together. Again, if the arms kind of mess you up, just work on your legs. Start off a little slower, okay? And then build up your pace as we go. There you go. Now we know this one can be quite easy, maybe. It can also be really challenging. We push ourselves, we try to be faster in our feet, faster in our hands, more intentional with everything that's happening. We're not just kind of flailing around. Everything's happening for a reason here. 15 seconds left. There you go. You got it. Keep pushing yourself there. Let's do it. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and into our lunge jumps. So we're going right into these ones. Trying to move our opposite arms, opposite legs. And if you don't jump, you're going through a step back lunge. Trying to move quickly. Yes. You can also do that if you feel like you are not going to make it in these ones. Because I get it. These ones are very challenging. Especially because, you know, yesterday we trained our legs. They're probably feeling tired, exhausted from what we did. 30 seconds left. Keep in mind you're going to have 1 whole minute of rest after this one here in 20 seconds. There you go. Okay, so we'll work through this. Breathe through this. Trying to stay strong. 10 more seconds left. You got this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Okay. Okay. So we're resting. 1 minute of it. Where walking is going to help you feel a little bit better, so you can pace around the space that you have. You very well could just stay still. Okay, grab some water. Most importantly here, we're breathing. We're trying to take those nice deep breaths into our belly, trying to calm ourselves down, get the oxygen in. We need it. Okay, before we get going here on our second of 4 sets. We just did 1. Yes. We have 3 more to go. Yes. Okay. But again, we'll take this rest here, trying to calm ourselves down. 15 seconds. When that timer goes off, you are going to go right into your second set. Like the first one, those blast off push-ups. I know those ones are no joke. We're going to try to get through them again though. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So if you are really struggling with these ones, something that helps anytime we're in a plank or push-up position is widening up your feet. It might help you feel like you're a bit more able to stay up in this plank, okay, rather than you having to, you know, touch your knees down and rest between these ones. There you go. So we'll try to work through this. 30 seconds left. And breathe. Trying to exhale out of that push-up. When in doubt, don't worry about the push-ups. Just try to keep the hips rocking forward and backward. 20 seconds left. Okay, I think you can probably do maybe 2 more push-ups, somewhere in there. Add them in. You leave them out for 1, bring them back for the next. You got this. Maybe you're just going to rock them out with push-ups every time. 10 seconds left. You got it. Strong finish. Last 1, 3, 2, 1, and we are standing up, going right into that fast in and out feet. So again, if you're low impact, you're just doing this being a little bit lighter on your feet, whereas if you can jump and you can handle that impact, we're sort of stomping the ground a little bit more, trying to add a bit more impact into our feet, into our jump. But most importantly for any of us is that we're doing this as quickly as we can, okay? Trying to make ourselves feel uncomfortable because we're doing this so fast. 30 seconds left. There you go. Okay, seeing if you can involve the arms. But again, for some of us, that coordination might be a bit too much. Most importantly is your feet. This one is called our in and out, fast feet. So we want to make those feet fast. 10 seconds left. Let's go. Adding a little bit more at the end here. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we'll turn to the side and get going on our lunge jumps. Okay, now these ones, probably going to creep up on you real fast here on this next set. So we'll try to pace ourselves. Okay, again, if you need to, you can always go into our normal lunges if you cannot keep going in those jumping ones, because I get it, all right? But we'll try to see, especially now in the second set, you know you have 2 more. Okay, so in theory, this one might even be your strongest set. So we'll see if we can get those jumps going again. 20 seconds left. Here you go. Pushing through this. It feels like we need to stop. I want you to keep working. 10 seconds. Let's go, let's go. 3, 2, 1, and now we rest. Nice work. Okay. Okay. So that was our second set, which means we are pretty much officially halfway through after this minute is up. Okay, so we'll take the next 45 seconds to rest, to try to calm ourselves down, bring ourselves back down to a more normal level, just so that we can get it right back up there on our set number 3, which is going to start in about 30 seconds. Okay, so moving, drinking water, breathing. There we are. Okay, 15 seconds. Oh, yes. And then we're going to start our set number 3, which means we have to do all this 2 more times, and then we are done. Okay, so back down into that high plank push-up position. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hips back, coming forward into that push-up. Exhaling out of it. Breathing through every part of this. There you go. Definitely the hardest one right here. So we're going to try to push through this and pace ourselves. Okay. Most of us are going to have a very, very challenging time doing this the entire minute. Okay. Because a minute is a long time to do most things, especially anything that involves a push-up. So just slow it down. You can take a bit more time as you go through the hips back blast off position. And then again, you can leave a push-up out if you need to. But we have 15 seconds left. So let's see if we can get at least 2 more full reps in. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, standing up. Pass the lane over to your fast feet, and let's go. Okay, starting right away into these quick feet with your bands, your imaginary lines. Let's go. Trying to move it as quickly as you can. And again, we want to have control. We want to think about keeping our body, our upper body as still as possible. We're not just flailing around with the arms and the shoulders. Strong core, think about pulling in your belly button, moving your feet faster, and keeping your body a little bit more still. Oh yeah, 20 seconds left, let's go. Okay, a little bit more. And the goal here is to get your heart rate up as high as we can. And how we do that is making you work faster, you be more intense. Whatever you're doing right here. 10 seconds left, just crank it up a little bit more. Oh yeah, let's go. 3, 2, 1. And potentially the hardest one. I'm not sure. These ones versus those push-ups. It's just a little different. We're going to get through set number 3 of these jumping lunges. There you go. So again, pacing yourselves. Yes, we're going to feel that crazy burning sensation in our legs. That's what we're going for. It's probably going to be a little bit more than normal because we are feeling the legs from all the stuff we did yesterday. So we'll just try to breathe through this, remembering that this feeling, that burn, that is what you can work through. That's what you can push through, whether you like it or not. Sometimes we have to convince our mind and our brain to work through it. But 15 seconds left. Okay, let's just see if we can keep going. So we've got a whole minute of rest after this. Yes. Let's finish strong. 5 seconds left. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Woo! Okay. Okay. So, I'm going to take this time right now. Try to calm her down. Okay, bring her heart rate down. Take those deep breaths. Again, when I say that, I don't want just breathing shallow into our chest, like the fast breaths. I want you to try to get that oxygen in as deep as you can into your belly. That's going to help you calm down. Bring your heart rate down much more efficiently than, again, those shallow chest breaths. So we have 30 seconds here. And then we are here, my friends, our final set, which is probably what you were waiting to hear since we started the circuit. This last round, okay, we're going to get these blast off push-ups done starting in 10 seconds. Okay, so last deep breath. Woo! Bring yourself down onto the floor. High plank position. Ready? And let's go. Hips back, hips forward. Exhaling. Trying to work through this one as consistently as we can. So try not to, do a crazy amount right at the start and then have to stop or not be able to keep going. We want to pace ourselves so that we can keep doing this for 35 more seconds. And that is it for today on this one. Just have the next 2 and then we are done, all right? So there is light at the end of the tunnel. We just got to keep pushing through. Literally, in these push-ups, 20 more seconds, you have this, okay? And this is what you can work through. We're going to try to exhale, push out of that position that you might not think that you can. You might surprise yourself. 10 seconds left. When in doubt, just plank. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right. Up into our quick in and out feet. Let's go. Okay, last set. We're trying to move everything a little bit faster. Okay, not trip up on our bands. You got it. Trying to be in as much control as possible with your feet, with your arms, with your upper body. This is it. Last chance, last set. And again, we know this one can be easy. We just go a little slow. We just kind of go through it. But that's not what we're here for. And that's not what we want. We want to push ourselves, okay? So that next time we go to do this, we feel stronger. We feel quicker, more powerful in it. 20 seconds left. And that only comes from you pushing to that uncomfortable level that I need to stop feeling. Let's get it. 10 seconds left. So close. Come on. Fast feet. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. All right. Shaking after that one. Okay, so we're going to finish up with our alternating jumping lunges, the leg burner. Let's get it done. 45 seconds is what we need from you in these ones. And then we're finished. So you can do this. Okay, whatever you need to do to convince yourself to keep working. Let's get it going here. 30 seconds. Okay, we know, feeling the legs. Just trying to keep exhaling out of that lunge. That breath is going to leave you a little bit more powerful. Maybe just make it possible for you to get these last few reps in. 10 seconds left. You got it. Strong finish. Do not stop. Wherever you are. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, so nice work, nice work. So what I'm gonna do right now is set us a timer for 2 minutes. In the next 2 minutes, all we're gonna do is rest, okay? Because we are, probably feeling that a lot. I'm gonna move these bands out of the way because we are done with them, okay? But we need to bring ourselves back down to a normal level, okay? We know how to do that because I talk about it a lot. Anytime we do this conditioning, this cardio work, it's very important that we come back down to a normal level where we're able to talk and able to breathe without puffing and puffing, okay? And that is most efficient if we move, if we drink water, take those deep breaths, and you have just over 1 more minute on our timer here for you to simply just do that, okay? So for some of us, it might take us a little longer. Some of us might already be starting to feel a bit better here. But we want to be able to, again, have a conversation before we go into these static stretches. There are 2 of them that I will require that you do today. And these stretches, most importantly, are going to help us promote our nice, good, upright posture. So we did a lot of stuff, starting off with all these push-ups, that works the front, and that sort of sends us more into this forward position here. So that's the first one we're going to do, is open up the chest and shoulders by finding ourselves a door frame or a wall or a corner of the wall, and we're going to open up our chest and shoulders, holding this here for 60 seconds on each side. So we're going to do these ones together, but again, I don't want you to join me on these until you feel like you can answer a question if I ask you one, okay, without, breathing and getting all crazy. So if you need a little bit more time, our 2 minutes is up here. Just take as much time as you need, okay? When you're ready, find yourself again that wall, the door frame, the corner. This works quite nicely. And we're going to hold this here for 1 minute. And if you're doing one side at a time, of course you have to do 1 minute on each side, which is why that door frame is a little bit more efficient to get this done a bit quicker. Okay, but we're going to hold this here 60 seconds, which I've already started timing. And again, if you are just joining us, you can just kind of watch the clock. Start that 60-second timer. Okay, so if you are doing both sides, as we finish up this first minute, you can switch sides. Do your other side. Okay, if you're in a door frame, then you can just release. And we're going to go into the second one, which is for our back. So I'm going to come over to this bookshelf here, hold on with both hands, and then rock my hips back. Now you can use pretty much anything to hold in your hands. Door handle, the TRX is a wonderful one, if you still have that guy hung up there. And then we're just going to lean back and get a nice opening stretch all up in this area here. So again, we'll hold this one for 1 minute, stretching out our back, feeling maybe a little bit in the back of the legs, the shoulders, and we're breathing. You got it. So as we are holding that one there, okay, we're going to hold that for about 10 more seconds. There's one more. I know I said I had 2, but I actually have 3. There's one more stretch that this one's not the most necessary. Those ones are. But this last one's for our arms, our triceps. So what we can do is reach one arm behind our head like this. This one comes over and grabs that elbow, and then we pull it in towards the head and the ear, and you'll feel that nice stretch down the tricep, the back of the arm. It feels good, especially after all the stuff we did, all the extensions and the push-ups. So again, 60 seconds over here, and then we can switch, and you can do 60 seconds over here. And we will hold this here, which is going to finish us up in our stretching. Okay, so any other stretches, my friends, that you want to do, if you want to spend a little bit of time on the floor, whatever it is, you are done with me. Thank you so much for joining me for another upper body party in the Zoom room today. I'll see you guys hopefully soon. And if you're watching the replay, you can drop a comment below so I know you were here, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.